the Democratic Republic of Sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
You are in the Sportsocracy. We are in the Wicked Weed studio, wickedweedbrewing.com. Drink different. This time on the Offseason Files, talking about the New York Football Giants. The Giants. You're not going to like this, dude. I promise you. Calm down. It's not exciting. I know. The Giants are trash. David Gettleman is back once again. They've got a quarterback that no one should believe in. They have zero weapons. They have $7 million to work with in cap space. They have an outstanding defensive tackle that they're apparently going to give $1 billion to.
Thank you. I'm really glad you did that, so we didn't have to, because I did not want to at all.
Leonard Williams, after his first full season with the Giants, he had a very successful year. He was very, very good, and I think that this is the right move for them, is to retain his services. However, how are you going to make the money work, and then what else are you going to do? Because you have got to do something about your team. You've got to give Daniel Jones some weapons to work with. Unfortunately, you've saddled yourself with a quarterback who can't hold on to the football. No, but it is what it is. You need to give him weapons, and you have no way to do that.
We have draft picks.
Well,
they got a lot of those.
Well,
not a lot.
There's that.
They have what the NFL gave them, -1.
Right. But I'm saying in the best wide receiver free agent class possibly we've ever seen, they have no money to work with, and that's the one thing that they need is a wide receiver.
No, that's not the one thing they need. They need a lot of things. They need a multitude of things. Another corner to replace their 2 years ago first round pick, Deandre Baker.
Yeah.
How'd that work out?
Yep.
Yeah. One real bad season, and then he did some shit. That didn't go well.
No, it didn't go well for anybody. But yeah, that's another hole that you have to fix.
This team needs a pass rusher outrageously badly. Do you realize they start 3 defensive tackles?
Really?
They do. It's Dexter Lawrence, Leonard Williams, and Dalvin Tomlinson. Mm-hmm. That's 3 of their 4 D linemen.
Well, Tomlinson's going to be gone.
That's not good. That's not good. You shouldn't do that.
Well, Tomlinson's going to be gone.
And before you tell me Dexter Lawrence is not, or is a D end, no, he's not. No, he's not. He's a D tackle. I graded him. I evaluated him. That's where he should be played. To me, the Giants are. I'm actually not as down on them as you are. I think they do have pieces. I look at Sterling Shepard, Evan Ingram. I do like Darius Slayton. You get Saquon Barkley back. You get Nate Solder back, which really gives you 2 offensive linemen at the same time.
Exactly.
Because you put Nate Solder in at left tackle, that allows you to slide Andrew Thomas back to right tackle, and now you have something that symbols an offensive line.
Yes.
And I think that's a market improvement. This team's better than the Philadelphia Eagles. And it's not even worth talking about.
Agreed. I fully agree with that. I'm not concerned about the offensive line.
I mean, I don't feel wonderful about it. I like Hernandez to an extent.
Okay.
I like Solder being back at left tackle, even though he's a little overpaid. Mm-hmm. And Andrew Thomas being at right tackle where he's more comfortable, and that will help. I do think they need another weapon of some kind. They're going to need a running back to pair with Saquon, because Saquon has shown he's got a little bit of an injury history. Mm-hmm. Plus, he's being asked to carry this team, which no running back not named Derrick Henry should do.
Would you be comfortable with them rolling in with Elijah Penny as their main backup?
No. This is one of those Mike Davis teams to me.
Okay.
I would really like you to find a way to get Mike Davis on this team. Or a running back of the like. Javonte Williams in the draft, Michael Carter, Larry Roundtree. There are a bunch of guys that you could want, and I would feel better. Mm-hmm. I would feel better if you weren't looking for Devontae Freeman halfway through the season. My biggest thing is the defense. I do like Bradbury. They have some I like Leonard Williams. You've got to find somebody that can get after the quarterback. Mm-hmm. Have to. It is a must. And there are some guys in this draft. I think this is the high end for Greg Rousseau right now. Rousseau, to me, when you start seeing him on tape and you start seeing him, in action, so long as he hasn't ballooned up during an opt-out year, he's the best pass rusher in this draft to me. And it's really not all that debatable. I had Rousseau in the top 5 originally, and now he's fallen off. It's where we're at. Mm-hmm. But I would love him with the Giants. I think you pair him with Leonard Williams and Dexter Lawrence, Blake Martinez back behind him with Bradbury and Xavier McKinney in the back 4. That's a formidable enough defense. Mm-hmm. That's enough to make you competitive to me with the Washington football team. I think the Cowboys are the best team in this division if the defense gets to where it's supposed to, but that's even projection. Mm-hmm. You know, we were talking earlier that the NFC West is the best division in the NFL. This might be the most wide open division in the NFL. Because the only team I can tell you definitively is not going to win, it's the Philadelphia Eagles.
Mm-hmm. Which is good news. It's an improvement for the New York Giants. And I do like the fact that Saquon Barkley is coming back. Hopefully he comes back healthy as ever. He'll have a better offensive line to run behind than he had this year. He's still got Daniel Jones. That's why I say their biggest need on offense is a wide receiver. There are a lot of wide receivers in this draft. At number 42, do you think that's where they go?
If they were to take a pass rusher at 11 or a linebacker, I could see them taking Micah Parsons as well. I think 11 is the drop dead spot for Jalen Waddle.
Okay.
I could easily see them taking Waddle in the first round and then falling into that fun roulette wheel of edge guys that we've talked about. The non-Gregory Rousseau Miami guys, Jalen Phillips and Quincy Roche. Mm-hmm. I think that would probably be my A+ draft for the Giants. You wind up with Jalen Waddle at 11, and then you try to get a pass rusher at 42, and then you add the best player on the board at 70, 76, 75?
76.
Somewhere? I mean, and that could be another corner. You know, once you get past Surtain, there's a big drop-off at corner. Then you got the Tyson Campbell, J.C. Horn tier, and then there's a lot of guys. Mm-hmm. Now, then you get into there are a lot of guys that in the right scheme could be starters. I do think the Giants are going to need a linebacker. Yeah. I think this is probably where Micah Parsons' discussion starts. I don't know that it's going to end here, but I do think it starts here.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to bring up a name that you brought up earlier today, and Jamal Williams. Is this could that be a fit for him in New York besides Saquon Barkley?
I would like Jamal Williams here. I think it's going to be too expensive. I think Jamal Williams knows he's one of the 32 best running backs in the NFL. I think he knows that.
Yeah.
And this is coming from specific places. I've heard a lot of talk about Jamal Williams and how this is possibly going to go. Mm-hmm. And it's tied to the Aaron Jones thing. You know, is Aaron Jones going to be franchised? You know, we'll know in a few hours. I would like somebody like that with the Giants. Doesn't necessarily have to be him. I would be more in the Mike Davis tier, but right. I don't mind Jamal Williams here. Right.
The Giants have been on the downslope, just trying to tread water since the Eli Manning, Tom Coughlin era. Do they have the pieces to be a threat in the NFC?
Well, it depends on what you mean by a threat in the NFC.
They're not going to be a contender this year. But
not to win the conference, no.
Right, do they have the building blocks to be able to compete 3 years down the road?
It all depends on Daniel Jones. I don't think he's the guy. I've never thought he was the guy. Mm-hmm. I was low on him the year he came out of Duke. He's done nothing since he's been in this lineup. I mean, the falling down at the 10-yard line when you're 30 yards behind the defense, that's the definition of Daniel Jones' career to me.
Right.
And I think he's a good kid. I think down the line he'll have a good career as a backup. I think he's going to be a great backup in the NFL. I just don't think he's a starter. And I never have, and nothing he's done has changed my mind. Oh, he's mobile. Okay, cool. Most quarterbacks now are mobile. Oh, we've gotten to a point in the NFL where quarterbacks come in the draft, and if they're like Mac Jones and could get outrun by me, that's more worth talking about than, they're mobile enough to escape the pocket.
Right.
Everybody is. You know, there are very few very slow-footed quarterbacks left in the NFL. Mm-hmm. So I don't see it. But I will say this, and this is kind of an ending rallying cry for the Giants. I do believe in Joe Judge. I think Joe Judge is a very good coach. I think he's put together a pretty good staff. And if you're looking for a silver lining to feel good about, that would be it for me. I think you have pieces. I actually haven't hated some of these draft picks. all the way back to the Will Hernandezes, which are just now getting into the graded 3 years out term. Mm-hmm. I think there are pieces of this puzzle that I think are locked in place. Now you just got to find the glue guys. And they need a considerable amount of glue guys. Mm-hmm. But this is a team I could see being competitive for a playoff berth this year.
The number one thing New York has to do to be competitive over the next couple of years is stop fucking whiffing on first-round draft picks. Yep. You cannot afford to continue to do this over and over and over again.
I think they're going to get one back this year. I think Thomas, a year from now, we're going to have a different discussion about Andrew Thomas than we did.
I agree with you. I think Andrew Thomas is going to be fine in the league as a right tackle.
Deandre Baker was as big a whiff as you're ever going to see. He played 18 games for the Giants.
Right, and then you have to throw Daniel Jones in there in that discussion as well, but the jury's still out. I'm not saying he's an abject failure or a disaster yet, but it's trending that way, and that is troublesome. Because here's the problem that I see for New York is that I don't think they're going to be good enough to be in the discussion for an elite quarterback anytime soon. I think they're just good enough.
You don't think they're going to be bad enough?
Yeah, that's what I meant. They're not going to be bad enough to put themselves in the top 5, top 6 of the draft. I don't believe. Barring some other crazy injury or something like that derails an entire season. Hopefully we're past that. We don't have to do it anymore.
I agree with you. I think this is to me, this is the third best team in the NFC East. A couple moves in the offseason could easily, by the time the year starts next year, they could be 2 and in a position that if they win the division, I'm not going to be stunned.
Yeah, I think they have their coach. I really like Joe Judge. Don't think you have your GM. No. David Gettleman is a problem. Yeah. As covering the Carolina Panthers here in the Asheville area for the last 10 years, David Gettleman's a problem.
The Gentleman. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm good on Dave Gettleman.
And I was surprised when they didn't fire him already. Yeah. I was surprised that they didn't move on from him. But that's coming soon. Yeah. And trust me when I say this is not going to be a winning franchise until that's done. Until David Gettleman's out of town, I don't believe it's going to happen. But I do like some of the pieces that they have. So we'll just have to wait and see. New York Giants, I think they are, what's your ceiling? Put a ceiling on them, you think, for next year. If they hit a home run in offseason, what's the best possible scenario?
9-7, win the NFC East.
Nailed it on the head. Where's the Kevin Vick Memorial Bell? Ding that thing. You're exactly right. Be sure to hit like and subscribe on this and all of our videos. Subscribe to the channel. You'll be able to follow all of the off-season previews as we keep it rolling until we get all 32, and hopefully we will definitely be hitting that mark by the end of the week. So stay tuned with us here in the Sportsocracy. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time.